Hello students, how are you? I welcome you all to IS Ment, Rise with Right Mentor. Today in this video, we are going to discuss the another prelims question solving technique. And under this technique, we will be discussing the technique by the name of use of general knowledge or common sense. Means when we stuck into a question where we have to choose from the options which we don't know, and the situation comes that we have to choose the correct answer, then we see that how this technique can be applied. See, the techniques that we are studying under this series are not such that they are applicable to all the questions. Rather, their applicability depends upon question to question. The Now how you will identify that which technique is applicable to which question? This thing comes with experience. This thing comes with practice. The more you practice, the more you will learn to apply these techniques. Okay. Now this technique is use of general knowledge or common sense. Now let us see how this technique is applied. The use of general knowledge or common sense method is particularly useful when you are faced with a question in the UPSC prelims exam for which you don't have direct subject knowledge. ठीक है? UPSC often includes questions that can be answered logically even without deep knowledge of the topic by using everyday understanding of how things work, basic reasoning, and broad general knowledge about the world. In these situations, you can apply your common sense and general understanding to rule out improbable answers and select the most logical option. ठीक है? तो अब इसमें देखते हैं कि इसको कैसे अप्लाई करते हैं. Let us see what all are the steps involved under this technique. Step 1. Identify broad or familiar topics. Look for options related to everyday events. Focus on what seems logically like. If something sounds too extreme or unreasonable, it often incorrect. Choose the option that seems the most balanced and logical. देखो यहां पे आपको मेनली क्या करना होता है कि हेयर इन अंडर दिस टेक्निक यू हैव टू अप्लाई योर कॉमन सेंस एंड कॉमन सेंस in this area comes with knowledge. Knowledge plus common sense. What you have to apply is knowledge plus common sense. ठीक है? देखो यहां पे क्या होता है कि जो गिवन ऑप्शन होगा, वट एवर विल बी द गिवन ऑप्शन in front of you, you have to see if that option is logically correct or not. You have to apply your logics, you have to apply your common sense, you have to apply your knowledge, not just the knowledge that you attained while preparing this examination, but the knowledge that you have attained throughout your life. You have to apply that knowledge in these type of questions. Okay, the better we will understand when we will see the questions. Now, so let's move to the questions. Let's see an example question, then we will understand in detail what this strategy is all about. ठीक है? Now see the first question. With reference to India's climate, consider the following statements. Most of India's rainfall received during the southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoon, we all know. Right? The main monsoon season that we receive is southwest monsoon. Most of India's rainfall is received during the southwest monsoon. Next is the retreating monsoon contributes to more rainfall than the southwest monsoon. Means first statement is saying that southwest monsoon will bring more rainfall, and second statement is saying that no, the retreating monsoon bring more rainfall. First of all, the technique that we discussed in last video is also applying over here, that these two options are contradictory to each other. First of all, ठीक है, these two questions are contradictory to each other. Next, we all know this thing. When we study monsoon, this is the common thing that we understand, that we study. And moreover, in generally also, we know that India receives maximum rainfall during monsoons. So first statement is definitely right. This statement we obtained through our general knowledge, through the knowledge that we gather throughout our life. And the second statement is wrong. We concluded it using our second strategy that we studied in last video. Okay. See, now as we are moving further in our technique videos, we will not just study the current technique for which the video is about, but in the questions we will also try to apply the techniques that we have already studied. Okay, so here we saw the two techniques, right? First one was elimination. Elimination is common to every technique. Elimination will apply almost everywhere. All right. Next question. The term Levant, often heard in news, refers to a region roughly around. Levant, often we used to hear this term in news. Also, this term is studied in international relations subject. So I don't think that किसी स्टूडेंट को लेवेंट के बारे में नहीं पता होगा. तो लेवेंट जो है वो सीधा सीधा मेडिटेरेनियन कोस्ट लाइन के अराउंड होता है. ठीक है, देखो अब ये क्वेश्चन जो लेवेंट टर्म है ये आपको डेफिनेटली पता होनी चाहिए थी. ठीक है, यहां पे ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है कि आपको नहीं पता होना चाहिए था. इस टर्म के बारे में तो आपको पता ही होना चाहिए था. फिर भी एक बार देख लेते हैं क्या होती है ये. देखो, सीरिया, लेबनान, जॉर्डन, इजराइल, साइप्रस, पैलेस्टीन, all these countries are together called Levant. Fine. And this is the Mediterranean Sea. Next question. Consider the following statements. The Global Ocean Commission is an international organization dedicated to conserving ocean ecosystems. Headquarters of it is located in New Delhi. मुझे नहीं पता इसके बारे में, मैंने नहीं सुना इसके बारे में. तो इसको कैसे सॉल्व करेंगे? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, व्हाट इज द टर्म गिवन ओवर हियर? ग्लोबल ओशियन कमीशन. ग्लोबल ओशियन कमीशन. तो कहीं ना कहीं ये क्या करती होगी? इट विल डेफिनेटली बी इन्वॉल्व्ड इनटू conserving oceans. This we can conclude by its name. Its name is Global Ocean Commission, and it is given that international organization dedicated to conserving ocean ecosystems. तो ये तो पक्का है कि कहीं ना कहीं ये ओशियंस के इकोसिस्टम को, ओशियंस को कहीं ना कहीं ये मैनेज करती होगी, है ना, कंजर्व करने का काम करती होगी. तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट तो मुझे ठीक लग रही है. अब बात करते हैं सेकंड स्टेटमेंट की. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट न्यू दिल्ली. अब देखो, इसके ऊपर हम कैसे सोच सकते हैं कि कमीशन है ओशियन के इकोसिस्टम को कंजर्व करने के लिए, यानी कमीशन इज रिलेटेड टू ओशियंस. तो पहला तो दिमाग में ये आता है कि न्यू दिल्ली is a landlocked city. तो ओशियन कमीशन तो यहां पे क्यों ही होगी, है ना, इसको होना ही है तो ये वहां होगी ना जहां लैंडलॉक्ड नहीं है। और सेकंड थिंग, जनरली ऐसी कमीशंस कहां होती हैं, जैसे जिनेवा, या फिर कोई ना कोई ऐसा सिटी होगा विच इज क्लोज टू ओशियन, राइट। सो बाय दिस थिंग I can say that definitely this option is wrong. So my answer would be A, one only. Right? Now, let us see next question. Which one of the following best describes the term green hydrogen? Now, this question is about green hydrogen, right? Now, by the word green itself, green, we all can infer that by the word green, it will definitely be something which is environment friendly. ठीक है, something which will be definitely environment friendly. So, which of the following best describes the term green hydrogen? Now, what is green hydrogen? Green hydrogen obtained by heating green plants. Heating green plants. This will produce what? This will produce CO2 for sure. So, this option cannot be right. Now, the next option, hydrogen gas produced using nuclear energy. Seems correct. Seems correct. Hydrogen gas generated from renewable energy sources like wind or solar power. Fourth, hydrogen gas produced by using fossil fuels. ये तो पक्का ही नहीं होगी। अब मेरे पास ऑप्शंस हैं बी एंड सी। आउट ऑफ दीज टू ऑप्शंस, which option do you think is more suitable, is more relevant? It is option C, right? Let's come to next question. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statements. Government of India subsidized the interest on loans taken by women under Stand Up India scheme. Now, this question is about Stand Up India scheme. Loans under the Stand Up India schemes are only available to women. अब देखो, according to our general knowledge, according to what we have studied, we all know that Stand Up India scheme is to provide loans, that too subsidized, to businesses. ठीक है, टू बिजनेसेस। और दूसरी चीज, ये बिजनेसेस किन के होने चाहिए? विमेन एंड SC and ST. So in this option, women is given, but SC and ST is not given. Now what we have to do? Either we have to choose it correct or wrong. क्या करें? क्योंकि एक दिया है, बाकी दो दिए नहीं। देखो, अगर यहां की तरह ओनली वर्ड यूज होता यहां पे भी, then definitely this statement would have 100% wrong. But since it is not given and they have crafted the statement in such a way that it seems to be a generalized statement, if it seems to be a generalized statement, then definitely it will be correct, right? So this is the way we apply general knowledge. Let's come to next question. With reference to everyday objectives, which of the following best explains why glass windows are often cracked by thunderstorms? Thunderstorms The question is about thunderstorms. Thunderstorms create vacuum pressure, which causes the glass to break. Thunderstorms produce sudden changes in temperature, leading to rapid expansion and contraction of the glass. The wind during thunderstorms contains high levels of dust particles that weakens the glass structure. Thunderstorms produce ultraviolet light that makes the glass brittle. देखो, thunderstorms in geography, we have studied that. Thunderstorms, what they do? They bring sudden weather change. Now, if they are changing weather suddenly, it means either they will change the weather from warm to cold or from cold to warm. Now, the thunderstorm create vacuum pressure, which causes a glass to break. Very technical statement. Leave it. Thunderstorm produce sudden change in temperature, leading to rapid expansion and contraction of glasses. Hold it. Wind during thunderstorm contain high level of dust particles that weaken the glass structure. ये क्या है? Weird. Thunderstorm produce UV light that makes glass brittle. What is the use? What is the sense? So, answer is B. Seems to be most relevant statement, right? Why do hot air balloons rise? Hot air balloons क्यों उठते हैं? Gas inside the balloon becomes lighter as it heats up. Hold it. Hot air inside the balloon is less dense than the cooler air outside, causing the balloon to rise. Hold it. Atmosphere becomes thinner as the balloon ascends, reducing the air pressure and lifting the balloon. Atmosphere becomes thinner. Yes, definitely atmosphere becomes thinner, but not at ground level, at higher altitudes. So, this statement is partial correct. So, we will cancel it out. Helium inside the balloon reacts with oxygen, creating upward force. Now we are stuck with two options, A and B. See, in A it is written that gas inside the balloon becomes lighter and it heats up. देखिए, gas even after heating doesn't lose its weight. ठीक है, इसका वेट सिमिलर ही रहता है, इसको कितना भी गर्म कर दो गैस को. तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट fundamentally is wrong. We are left with the only statement. By heating a gas, molecules expand. And since molecule expands, what it leads to? It leads to decrease the density of any object. Right? This is the process that happens. When we talk about lighter or heavier in geography, while studying climatology, we generally use the terms lighter and heavier. Yes, these terms are also correct. In what way? In geography, in climatology, these terms are used regarding density, not regarding weight. ठीक है? Remember this thing. Let's see next question. Why do plants appear green to human eyes? Human eyes को plants जो हैं वो green क्यों दिखाई देते हैं? They absorb green light and reflect all other colors. If an object will absorb a certain light, then how it's possible that we will able to see that color? That is not possible, na? So this statement is outrightly wrong. They absorb all color of light except green, which is reflected. Hold it. They only absorb blue and red, which makes them appear green. Is it making any sense? They absorb UV light, causing green pigment. No. So we are left only with one option. Absorbs all color of lights. सारे कलर एब्जॉर्ब कर लेती है सिवाय एक को छोड़कर. ठीक है, और वो कौन सा है? एक्सेप्ट ग्रीन. दैट्स वाई वी सी देम एज ग्रीन. नेक्स्ट, स्काई is blue during day but red or orange during sunrise and sunset. Why? During day, atmosphere scatters all wavelengths of light, making the sky blue. All wavelengths of light. Whatever wavelengths are falling on sky, it scattered all. Now, if it scatter all, here is a human eye. When no light is falling on the eye, how it will see the ocean, the sky? Wrong statement. At sunrise and sunset, light passes through a thicker layer of atmosphere, scattering shorter wavelengths, leaving red and orange to reach the observer. Hold it. Sky changes color due to pollution levels which increase at dawn and dusk. Pollution remains all the day. Blue color is due to the reflection of ocean, which becomes red as the sun moves lower. What is this? Wrong. So we are left with the only one statement, that is B, and that is correct. See, it is saying that short wavelengths are reflected. Short wavelengths are scattered, and long wavelengths are visible. So this option becomes right. Okay, now let's move to last question. Why do ice cubes float in water? Ice has higher density than water, so it floats. If something is highly dense, then how it can float on a lesser dense substance? So wrong. Temperature of ice is lower than that of water, which makes it buoyant. Hold it. Ice has a low density than water, allowing it to float. Hold it. Ice floats because it contains dissolved air, which makes it lighter than water. Do you think that ice absorbs as such air that it will start floating on water? No. Temperature of ice is lower than that of water, which makes it buoyant. Buoyant, yes, okay, but not regarding it. Yes, temperature is lesser in ice, but in ice what happens is, as we freeze, as we convert water to ice, the molecules start expanding, and when something expands, what it will do? It will become lighter in terms of density. So ice starts floating over water, on water. Hence, statement C is correct. Now conclusion. The use of general knowledge or common sense method is invaluable in UPSC prelims when direct subject knowledge is lacking. This method works best when you apply logic and reasoning based on what you know about the world. Whatever we know about the world, whatever basic knowledge we have gathered, is used under this technique. You eliminate improbable options that are factually unlikely or unreasonable. You use common sense to make the simplest and most practical choice. This is the most important point under this technique. You use common sense to make the simplest and most practical choice. With practice, you can learn this method also. Whatever techniques we are studying under this series, all these techniques need a rigorous practice, because without practice you won't be able to learn these techniques, and if you lack these techniques, then it will become very difficult for anyone to apply the knowledge in MCQs. Okay, my request is that please go through this whole series, the prelims preparation strategy series. It will definitely help you in this prelims. Okay, so now we will meet in next video with next technique. Till then, please like, subscribe, share and watch the whole series. Thank you.